Well, good morning, everybody. We're here to make my farm-to-table pumpkin pie. I've already placed a pizza stone down in my oven, and I have preheated it to 425 degrees about a half an hour ago. So, the star of the show is 2 cups of pumpkin puree. One of the most important things you can do before making pumpkin pie, if you're making it from scratch, is overnight put it in a sieve or a strainer with some cheesecloth or something, because just in that 3 cups of puree, that's how much liquid I got. There's probably 2 cups of liquid in there. So always remember that, otherwise your pie is going to be runny and it's not going to set right. Make sure you do drain the liquid off of the puree. So I have in here 3 eggs already beaten. To that, I am adding 1/2 cup evaporated milk. To that, I am going to add my 2 cups of Okies Eden own pumpkin puree. Just get that going a little bit, fold that up. I am going to use the mixer here in a second, but I'll get all this kind of together. Now, normally what I would do is I would mix all of the warming spices first in the puree after it has drained off the liquid, and I would leave it in the fridge overnight, let all those flavors combine and marry and all of that stuff, and I guarantee it'll taste much better. This will still be really good, and it'll set overnight anyways for most of it. So let's go over the rest of it. I have 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar. I have a 1/2 teaspoon of allspice, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/2 teaspoon of pumpkin spice. I am not a clove fan. You can add cloves or spice it more than this. I upped the cinnamon a little bit, and I also upped the ginger a little bit. The original recipe I found online only had 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, which I don't think is enough. So anyways, we'll add those. Everybody into the pool. I'll just give this a quick mix with this. Take out my handy dandy mixer, which we've had probably 20 years. And my mistake, there was also a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You just didn't see it because it was on the white plate. But there is a 1/2 teaspoon of salt in there. I'll just scrape down the sides, make sure it is all combined. That is the pumpkin puree. Look at that. And since this is my house, my rules, all right, I may just make this a pudding. Yeah, that's definitely the right spicing this time around. Much better. This is a Okies Eden very own pie crust. I even did the edges with a fork. Now, this is going to go on the pizza stone. I do that because anytime you're dealing with a wet pie, where you're dealing with some kind of custard or apple pie, you have a lot of liquid. The pizza stone, once it's preheated, much like doing a pizza, it'll brown the undercarriage and it'll keep it from being mushy. And it really does brown it up nice. So with that said, let's stop messing around here. Let's get it done. Oh yeah, I'm really happy with this one. This here is much better than my first run through. Smooth this out. Now, I'm going to put this in at 425 for 20 minutes. That'll brown the crust up. Then I turn the temperature down to 350 for about 20-25 minutes. Keep an eye on it at that point. So there we have it. Let's go throw this in the oven, and I will see you in about 45 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Here it is, fresh out of the oven. That is my second pumpkin pie with puree from my own garden.